Hey guys, welcome back. Today is August 27th. And so, what's going on in the news right now? Well, Lisa Cook, one of the Fed governors, is being pushed out by Trump. Not completely yet, but there's pressure being applied, specifically talking about some mortgage stuff that she did. And the reason why the Fed matters is because they're the people who determine interest rates. They cut interest rates when things are looking not so great. And the reason why you want to cut interest rates in bad times is because that way it's cheaper to borrow money, it's cheaper to get money from the bank and spend it on random stuff, things that businesses need. So Lisa Cook, one of the people who determines the federal interest rates, now under pressure. And what Trump probably wants to do, because he's also given a lot of pressure to Powell, the president of, or the head chair of the Fed. So what's probably going to happen here is that the Fed is going to get a lot of pressure to lower interest rates and lower them a lot. What does that mean for the market in general? Well, stock markets will probably go up because of that if the Fed starts lowering a lot of interest rates. Now, Trump's reasoning is that because of tariffs, there's going to be there's going to be a need to lower interest rates since it causes a lot of the businesses to struggle with raising prices. And so there's this dichotomy between, okay, do we want to make sure that our unemployment rates remain steady? Do we want to make sure that our inflation rates remain steady? So balancing inflation rates, unemployment, these kinds of things, it matters a lot. And so that's why the markets have been recently a little bit more slow. In other words, there's been less volume. But in general, it seems like there's a bit of anticipation for what happens in September and October with rate cuts, or whether there won't be any rate cuts. So with that being said, let's talk about what's going on today. We have NVIDIA earnings call later tonight. We are probably going to see some sort of movement, either really good or really bad, because if NVIDIA's earnings are bad, then that means AI stocks are probably not going to do well. If NVIDIA's stock is well, usually the earnings call are very bullish. NVIDIA goes like, hey, we sold a shitload of semiconductors. And then people will say, oh, that's great. Well, then in that case, let's keep pumping up the stock. So that's generally what happens with NVIDIA. NVIDIA is the largest holding in the SP 500. If you look at the actual weight, I think it's around, it should be around 7 or 8%. Now, there's other news too. So, speaking of SP 500, Interactive Brokers is now joining the SP 500, and Walgreens is now leaving. Walgreens leaving SP 500. You'll see that, yes, they are leaving because they're going to be acquired by a private equity firm. Private equity is a whole other conversation, but basically what we can say is Walgreens is going to be delisted, and instead Interactive Brokers is joining the SP 500. Now, Interactive Brokers is a financial platform for people who want to do stock trading and who want to do it at a more precise level. So, for example, Robinhood is also another example of a place where you can buy and sell stocks, options, different stuff like that. Interactive Brokers is the same thing, but one of the things that I've personally found interesting about Interactive Brokers is that for people who want to do algorithmic trading, they have the ability to help you basically create a space for you to implement your algorithms. As well, that's what I'm told, at least from what I read. But I never actually started an Interactive Brokers account because the barrier to entry was $30,000, and that was really high at the time when I was just a poor, broke college kid. That was the reason why I think Robinhood really took off, because you had a whole bunch of these people who didn't have 30K sitting around who still wanted to invest and try different stuff. So then they joined Robinhood and they got commission-free trades. commission trades ended up being so interesting and so engaging that other groups like Charles Schwab and other platforms like I think E-Trade and other groups started also doing commission-free trades. Trade commission-free? Yeah, they do have a commission-free version. Now, the way that they actually make money when they say commission-free is now they usually sell the data. So they sell it's called payment for order flow, PFOF. And it's basically, it's money that you get by sending those trades to some market maker. Yeah, there's a compensation that a stockbroker receives from a market maker in exchange for the broker routing its clients' trades. So that is generally what, yeah, that's just generally the way that trading works nowadays because people want lower barriers to entry. So the way you compensate that is, well, you work with the people who actually have money who are willing to supplement the cost of the actual trades. So, what else? There was something else I think we wanted to talk about today. No, I think we covered this. Yes, of course. So there was Meta that ended up having a couple researchers leaving their new superintelligence lab. Not quite sure what's going on there, but we're going to probably continue following that to see what's going on. Trump said that it's going to cost $50 billion, but Meta originally said it was going to cost $10 billion. So probably just a misstatement by Trump. Long story short, is a couple of interesting things in the news. We're going to follow what's going on with the Fed. We're going to follow what's going on with SP 500, and we're going to follow what's going on in AI. All right, thanks for joining me today, and hope you like and subscribe if you want to hear more about this kind of news. Thanks. See you next time.